Drop your weapon, drop your... Today you are going to learn the #1 rule for winning a gunfight. And you're also going to learn how you can train so you don't break this rule. Because if you break this rule, you end up dead. Ethical Preparedness, 50 caliber, freedom siege! Now, I've done videos on this firearms training in the past, but I think this is worth revisiting. Also, I am no super tactical super shot. Instructors like Asp and Knockout Lights would run circles around me at the range. I just think that this is excellent, simple firearms training that you can do to help better prepare you to survive a sudden and deadly attack. Now, let's get on with the video. Now, really quick for new viewers, a little bit of my background. I am a 20-year law enforcement veteran, plus I have also been unfortunately forced into a self-defense police action shooting myself. So the information that I give to you today in this video is from real life experience. Now, let's get on with the video. Also, folks, this rule that I'm about to tell you about has been taught in firearms training courses for decades, if not hundreds of years. So it's an absolute shame that more gun owners don't know or train this rule. Okay, the #1 rule for winning a gunfight, and when you hear this, you might say, well, duh, I knew that, but so many people don't really comprehend or know this. The #1 rule for gunfights is that you don't get shot by your bad guy. Now, don't click off just yet, because most people, while they think they know this rule, they don't seem to really truly comprehend it, nor do they incorporate it into their firearms training like we are going to today. Now, in my self-defense videos, when I talk about gunfights and or shooting your attacker or using deadly force against your attacker, I am talking about where an attacker is actively trying to kill you. I am not talking about where somebody just comes up and suddenly pulls a gun on you and demands your wallet. You never want to pull your gun against a gun that's already pulled on you unless that's the only thing that you can do to save your life, unless you have no other choice. But what if the bad guy doesn't want your wallet? What if that bad guy is intent on killing you? What training can you do to not break that #1 rule of gunfighting, which is not get shot by your bad guy? So here is what I do. Here is the tactics that I incorporate into my training so I don't violate that #1 rule of a gunfight, which is don't get shot by your bad guy. And let's just break this training down into simple steps for you. The first step is not getting shot in a gunfight is to be moving. A moving target is a much harder target for your bad guy to hit. So the first step that I incorporate into my training is drawing and moving and giving voice commands at the same time. And it looks like this: drop your weapon. And when you move, move with purpose, preferably towards cover if you're not already behind cover. Now, some people are going to say that when you move, only thing the bad guy has to do is move his gun to continue firing at you. But when you are moving and making a harder target of yourself, and you are also shooting back at him, you are going to make yourself extremely difficult for him to get a good shot in on you. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is the draw for this training. And I cannot stress how important this draw is. When you draw your gun, you're bringing it up close to your chin, the center of your body, then you marry your hands together, and then you just push straight out. Again, center of your body, close to your chin, marry your hands together then, and then push straight out. Why this draw is so important is because when you draw like this, it lines your gun up automatically to your bad guy's center mass, to his torso. It also automatically lines the sights up to your eyes so you can continue aiming while you fire. Folks, what is so important about this draw is that it quickly lines up your sights and allows you to get fast, accurate shots off at your bad guy while you are moving. So up to this point in this training, we've got drawing and moving at the same time. Now it's time to add the next step, which is voice commands. You see, most states require you to give voice commands before you use deadly force against your bad guy, so it is a good idea to incorporate them into your everyday firearms training so that you will automatically do them if you are forced to pull your gun and shoot that bad guy. Now, I like to keep my voice commands very simple. Something like drop the weapon is very simple, and then when you say that repetitively in your firearms training, you will more than likely automatically do that when you are truly faced in a life or death situation and you're in that fight or flight mode. So at this point, this training is going to look like... Folks, big tech does not want me to show you this, so I have to be really careful how I word this. But if you want bang sticks, PSA has them. And then if you need freedom seeds for your bang sticks, PSA also has them. And I will put an affiliate link down below so you can check them out if you want. So at this point, this training is going to look like this. Drop your weapon, drop your weapon. Drop your weapon, drop your weapon. And folks, leading up to this part of the training, you can do at home with a safely unloaded weapon or an airsoft gun or something like that. Moving and drawing and giving voice commands you can do repetitively to build that into your muscle memory without ever firing a shot. And now since you have moving and drawing and giving voice commands all at the same time down pat, now let's add in the shooting part. And obviously you're probably not going to be able to safely do the firing part at home, so folks, find a safe range to do this. Again folks, if you are a moving target, it's harder for your bad guy to hit you. That's why this draw is so important, so you get fast, accurate shots while you are moving. Now let's talk really fast about how many rounds that you want to shoot. Some people say 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, just to make sure that you put your bad guy down. And others will say 2 controlled shots and then reassess. But I can tell you from personal experience that more than likely under that high stress, you are going to pump your rounds until that bad guy drops. So since you will probably pump several rounds into your bad guy underneath that fight or flight mode, we might as well train to be able to shoot several rounds accurately and rapidly. So with this next step in this training, I am going to incorporate everything together. The moving, the ever important draw to have fast, accurate shots, and giving voice commands. Drop the weapon. And it's going to look something like this. Drop your weapon, drop your... Drop the weapon! And folks, your job is to do this training over and over again until you get it down. Don't just do it a couple times and think you got it down pat. Do it over and over and over again until you do it in your sleep. But now since you've shot your bad guy and now that he's down, who's to say that that bad guy is alone? Who's to say that that bad guy does not have friends nearby? So the next step that I like to do in this training is to incorporate scanning around me. Drop the weapon! I am scanning around me for additional threats, and I am scanning with purpose. I'm not just doing a quick, again, scanning with purpose. Also notice I am not scanning like this, especially if you're in an urban area with a lot of innocent people around. So who all of you are actually going to do this firearms training that I showed you in this video? Or at least do some type of firearms training? Comment down below. Now many gun owners say, I would never do a mag dump into my bad guy. If I ever get forced into a self-defense shooting, I will never spray and pray. Well, to learn why, you will almost definitely do a mag dump into your bad guy, and then click on the video that should be appearing on the screen just about now to learn that powerful knowledge. Anyways, folks, this is enough internet for me tonight. I do need to go train. And folks, if you made it this far, hey, thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.